And Representative Stefanik, the floor is yours.
Chairman Risch, Ranking Member Shaheen, distinguished members of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, thank you for the opportunity to appear today. I would also like to thank the senators from both sides of the aisle who met with me over the past several weeks. It is the honor of my lifetime to earn President Trump's nomination to serve in his cabinet as U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations. If confirmed, I stand ready to implement President Trump's mandate from the American people to deliver America First, peace through strength, national security leadership on the world stage. Before I begin, I'd like to personally recognize my family. We all know in public office that we would not have the opportunity to serve were it not for the support of our loved ones. I'd like to begin with my mom, dad, and brother, Melanie, Ken, and Maddie. My dad was here with me today, and my mom and brother are watching closely from upstate New York. There is no question that I would not be here without their lifetime of unconditional love, support, and encouragement, and for that I am forever grateful. I also want to thank my incredibly supportive husband, Matt, who is also here, and of course, most importantly, our pride and joy, our 3-year-old son, Sam, who made his debut in the U.S. Senate. He is comfortable on the House side, it's new in the Senate, so thank you for the warm welcome. Sam is by far our greatest blessing. Of all the titles I have held, Congresswoman, Chairwoman, Representative, or Ambassador if confirmed, my most important title will always be Mom. I appear before you today as a daughter, sister, wife, mother, Congresswoman, a patriotic upstate New Yorker, and a proud American. I believe deeply in the American dream because I've had the opportunity to live it. I was born and raised in upstate New York, the cradle of the American Revolution. I grew up in a small business family where my parents instilled in me the importance of hard work, ingenuity, and grit. I was blessed to be the first member of my immediate family to have the opportunity to graduate from college. I graduated from Harvard with honors and then worked at the White House, in the West Wing, on the Domestic Policy Council, and in the Chief of Staff's office. After nearly a decade working in public policy in Washington, I returned home to work in my family's small business and decided to run for Congress. In 2014, I was elected to Congress, making history as the youngest woman ever elected at the time. In Congress, I have fought tirelessly for the hardworking families of New York's 21st District, delivering significant bipartisan results for my constituents. I was elected by my colleagues to serve as the House Republican Conference Chair, becoming the highest-ranking woman in Congress at the time and the youngest woman of either party to serve in top elected House leadership. And over the last decade, I have served on the House Armed Services Committee, the Intelligence Committee, the House Education and Workforce Committee, and I'm proud to be the longest-serving woman on both the Armed Services and Intelligence Committees. On these national security committees, I have legislated on a number of critical issues ranging from military readiness, emerging technologies like artificial intelligence, quantum computing, and cybersecurity, to missile defense. I have worked to enhance American intelligence capabilities, strengthen our alliances and partnerships, and deter our adversaries. On the Education Committee, I have been the leader in combating anti-Semitism in higher education. My oversight work led to the most viewed testimony in the history of Congress. This hearing with university presidents was heard around the world and viewed billions of times because it exposed the anti-Semitic rot in colleges and universities and was a watershed moment in American higher education. When discussing this nomination with President Trump, the President shared with me that he sees great promise in the United Nations if it focuses on its founding mission of international peace and security. President Trump has long advocated for peace and no new wars. He delivered the Abraham Accords, the largest step to regional peace in the Middle East in a quarter century. If confirmed, I will work to ensure that our mission to the United Nations serves the interests of the American people and represents President Trump's America First, peace through strength foreign policy. As the world faces crisis after crisis, with hostages, including Americans, still held in Hamas's captivity, to national security challenges ranging from China, Russia, North Korea, and Iran, it has never been more critical for the United States to lead with strength and moral clarity. This is especially important regarding our most precious ally, Israel, who faced the bloodiest day for the Jewish people since the Holocaust on October 7th, 2023. As a member of Congress, I also understand deeply that we must be good stewards of U.S. taxpayer dollars. The U.S. is the largest contributor to the UN by far. Our tax dollars should not be complicit in propping up entities that are counter to American interests, anti-Semitic, or engaging in fraud, corruption, or terrorism. We must invest in programs to strengthen our national security and deliver results. To increase the efficacy of UN programs, we must drive reform. If confirmed, I will be the first UN ambassador in over 2 decades to come directly from Congress, and I have deep respect and understanding of the oversight and appropriations role of the legislative branch, and I look forward to using my strong House and Senate relationships to deliver these much-needed reforms. We are truly at a critical point in history. The world must be reminded of the key mission of the United Nations and America's role as its formative leader. Following the devastation, carnage, and Holocaust of World War II, the world was desperate for peace, stability, human rights and dignity, and world order. As outlined in Article 1, Chapter 1 of the UN Charter, the purpose of the United Nations is to maintain international peace and security, develop friendly relations among nations based on a shared respect for the principle of equal rights, solve international problems, and harmonize the actions of nations in the attainment of common ends. The UN has not lived up to this founding mission, and we must demand better. It is imperative to ensure strong American leadership at the United Nations. I share President Trump's vision of a UN reformed by strong America first, peace through strength, and a return to this founding mission of promoting peace and security around the world. In closing, I will forever be grateful to my constituents in New York's 21st District for giving me the opportunity to serve them as their voice at the highest levels of Congress. 10 years ago, upstate and North Country voters took a chance on a young, first-time, unknown candidate who very few believed could win. So I just want to thank the hardworking families, small businesses, farms, law enforcement officers, military families, veterans, seniors, so many with whom I've had worked so closely to deliver results on behalf of our communities. Thank you especially to my extraordinarily dedicated staff in both the district and in Washington offices for serving tirelessly for the past decade. If confirmed, my family and I are excited for this next chapter to serve on President Trump's cabinet in this role, and I commit to the American people that I will work my very hardest in the coming years to lead with moral clarity and American values. Thank you, and I look forward to your questions.